Hello, Ayden Ka here, back at it again, hopefully with a quick one this time. So over the past year or so, I've been collecting nippers, and I decided at some point to not use them and just, collect them so I could at some point do a test with all of them, but having them be equally as sharp. So these have not been used at all, except for the test which I did just today. So the ones that I've collected are mostly the popular ones, so like GodHand and HobbyMio. These are very popular ones that I see all the time all over the place. I also see the Dspiae ones. They seem to be picking up on popularity over in China and the USA. So those are pretty good. And then I also have some that are more on the interesting side. So like this HobbyMio, that is a stainless steel nipper, single blade nipper. And I also got this Plamo Kojo over here, the Racing Miku GT Project version of the Plamo Kojo. What was it? Renewable blade nipper. Yeah. So this one has a blade that you can actually take out and replace. So that's very interesting. And then I also have some STX, the Dspiae STX. These I can no longer find. I had to go and do some research before the video just to check the prices, how they currently are, and I couldn't find them anymore. So yeah, it's a selection of popular ones and interesting ones, right? That I wanted to do because eventually I want to just have one nipper that I use for everything. I also have the entry grades over here. So entry grade GodHand, entry grade from China, just a generic one. And these Tamiya 123, which is a double blade nipper, but also something that I see from time to time on videos. So yeah, this is what I want to compare today. The way I'm going to be doing it is I'm going to be showing the box that they come in. Then I'm going to be showing a little test. Well, I'm going to be talking about them, showing the box, and then showing a little test that I did with the little pieces of 3mm runners that you see here. Actually, I think some are thicker than the others, but either way, you should be able to see some comparable results between them. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started with, so on the left side, I have all the Chinese ones. So Dspiae is a Chinese brand, HobbyMio is Chinese, I believe. U-Star is definitely a Chinese one, and then this generic Chinese one. And then on the right side, I have GodHands, which are Japanese, the Plamo Kojo, which are these are Plamo Kojo Miku Racing, blah blah blah. So these are Japanese, then Tamiya is Japanese, and then the GodHand entry grade, which are also Japanese. So with that, let's go ahead and start. I'll start on the left side with all the Dspiae ones that I have. So let me go ahead and start with this one at the bottom. This is the ST-C. So let me show you the notes I have actually. I have the Dspiae ST-C. It comes in a travel pack. So this one you cannot buy separate. It comes with the travel pack that they have, or like travel case, something like that, which is basically like an entry grade that has all the tools that you need to start on the hobby. It's a really cool case, and so it comes with a bunch of tools, and then it also comes with this. However, it doesn't come with a cover. The cover I had to get additional, so it doesn't come with this little nifty cover. And it has no box, it has nothing. The travel case itself costs $40 if you want to look for it. It's the TCS01. That's how you'll find the travel case, right? It's from Dspiae. So let's go ahead and take a look at with this bottom camera. I can let's go ahead and take a look at it. So on the hand feel for it, it's not very springy. So it's very loose. So it doesn't spring back very well. And you'll notice with the next couple of Dspiaes that this spring factor is kind of it does come into play. So this one's not very springy, but it does spring back a little. So it's not that bad. It's nice. It's nice. It does feel good. All right, so let me go ahead and zoom in, and we can take a look at the blade, or rather the head of the nipper itself. So we can see at the bottom, this is the blade side, and then the blunt side. The back. So I thought about getting a macro lens for this, but I don't think you should get marred in the details too much. as long as the nipper can cut cleanly, that should be enough. So you can see that it does have some bite in it. So it has the little bit of white plastic. That's like a little bit of bite, but it's not that bad. Let me turn it around. So you can see it's not that bad. It can cut. It definitely can cut. And it doesn't feel bad on your hands. So it's a good nipper. It's a good nipper. If you get the travel case for them from Dspiae, you're not gonna be disappointed in the performance of this nipper in particular, right? So that was the Dspiae ST-C. Let's move on to the Dspiae ST-X. So this one I have over here should be the ST-X. Let me check real quick. Let me zoom out so you can also take a look. So yeah, this is the ST-X. Okay, so before let me give you some information on the ST-X. So the Dspiae ST-X single blade nipper, it cost me, at the time when I bought it, it cost me $30, which is a decent price for a supposed premium nipper, right? Which is supposed to be, the ST-X are supposed to be very premium. So $30 for that is pretty good. But it didn't just come with the, let me show you the box. So on the box, there's nothing to the box pretty much. Oh, I shouldn't show that. I don't know if that matters. The box, that's it. That's all that comes with the box. So you'll notice that it's very thick, the box, because it comes with some other things in it. So it has this little cardboard cutout where the cover came. And the reason that it's so thick is because this nipper came with a case. So the nipper came with a case, a cover, the nipper itself, a cloth for cleaning, and a little tool for working what's it called? The little thing that it has here for the stopper. So you can, through the outside, put the tool in there and make this go, I forget the terms, but basically you can use the tool to adjust this little, yeah, you get what I'm saying. Anyways, yeah, so I was saying, all of this came with the $30 nipper, right? So it's a pretty good deal when it comes to being premium. It's premium not just in the blade itself, but also on the packaging that it comes with. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the nipper. So let me zoom in. So the nipper itself is pretty neat. It's just a simple nipper, single bladed. The blade's at the bottom. And the blunt side at the top. From the back. And we can take a look at the bits of plastic that I've cut with it. So this does look a little bit better than the ST-C. I can tell you that this one feels a lot better on the hand. This is the other side of the same piece of plastic. The other side. There you go, you can kind of see it. Okay, so now let me talk about the next blade, which is from Dspiae also, and it's also a premium nipper from Dspiae. So it's the Dspiae STA 3.0 Ultra Fine Single Blade for Plastic Models. That's the full name of it, right? So this one cost about $30 to $38 on AliExpress. It depends on the seller and the sales that are going on. So you can get it cheaper than $30 sometimes. So yeah, that's this Dspiae. In a very similar way, the box. Let me show you the box. So very neat box. There we go. Same thing as the other Dspiae, comes with on a thick box with a little thank you message, space for the cover, and because this one also comes in with its own case. It's a different case than I showed you, but it's the same one, right? Case, cloth, and its cover, right? So the cover. Okay, so now let me talk about the hand feel of this one. I didn't talk about the hand feel on the STX because I wanted to talk about them at the same time. These are both supposed to be premium, and I can tell you that the STX, the hand feel is very much smoother, right? You can see that it's just smooth. It pushes me back. When I push in, it pushes me back. So it's nice. However, the STA 3.0, oh yeah, the plastic on the STX feels a little bit better than the STA. The STA is a little bit rougher, but it's similar to what the GodHand has. It's rough in the same way that the GodHand is. The GodHand still feels a little bit better though. So the spring back on this is a lot more. So I do like that. In some sense, I like that it's a very springy. It springs back a lot. So if you got a heavy hand, I would say like, yeah, this is probably a good spring back. Very nice. Okay, so now let's take a closer look at it. Zoom in. You can tell that it's different because this one does say STA 3.0, so it's not the same one. It's not the same one I showed you. The finish on it is also a little bit different, isn't it? And I believe the angle is also different. Yeah. The angle is a little bit sharper on the STA 3.0, I want to say. So, and then we can see blade at the bottom, blunt at the top, on the back. The finish is a little bit weird on this ones, but as far as I know, Dspiae has answered those questions for people, and they say that it's just a finish thing. It's just it doesn't affect the quality of the blade, it just affects the quality of the finish, which well, I mean, it's a premium, but it's also $30, right? You cannot expect at that price point the same finish as the GodHand's gonna have. So let me look at the plastic cut with this STA 3.0. So this one is noticeably better. Like, it actually looks and feels smoother. So it looks smoother when it finishes, and it looks smoother, and it feels smoother when you cut. So I do like that one a lot. I do like the STA 3.0 quite a bit. There we go. Very nice. All right, so that's all I have for the Dspiae nippers. So I'll continue with some other Chinese. All right, so let's continue with the odd one of the bunch, which is this U-Star. So U-Star is not a very known brand. I don't know if it's a known brand actually, because it's a Chinese brand, and I don't see many people talking about it in the United States or in other places, right? But it's a brand that keeps popping up when I'm browsing AliExpress. It keeps popping up, and it has a whole bunch of different little things that are just weird. And I saw their nippers and I was like, well, they have a bunch of interesting stuff, so I might just grab them to test them, right? So the U-Star, they came in with this little cover, and it's kind of rusted, and yeah, it's a little bit weird. So, well, let me tell you the information on it first. So this is the U-Star UA 91580. I don't know how you would say that big of a number, right? 91580. U-Star Jifeng modeling clamp. It has a weird name. You can tell that it's very Chinese. So it goes for about $30 to $35. So it's at the same price as a premium Dspiae nipper. So you would expect it to be premium, right? So let me show you right now the box. So this is the box for the U-Star. Doesn't have much. It tells you that you can oil it, but it doesn't come with oil. It says, I believe as unprofessional, every tool you use is your partner. So after use, we kindly recommend you to keep regular maintenance for the product to keep it durable. Yeah, it's good. Then it has a little instruction manual up here. And it came neatly packed in here. However, it came with like rust on it, so I don't know how neat it was. Did it come with oil? I cannot remember if it came with oil. I don't think it did. I think only the HobbyMio came with oil. But the point is that this one's like very weirdly packed. I don't even remember how you open it. But anyways, that's not the point. We're looking at the nipper itself. Hold on. It did have that little plastic cover that you see it has, but it's browned. So I don't know how it's browned, and this thing had a little bit browning on the inside. Yeah. I don't know about the quality of the finish, but on the hand, it doesn't feel that bad. It's not very springy. You can see the spring itself doesn't look that great. So it's not very springy. Yeah, the hand feel is not that great. Not as good as the Dspiae, but it's not that bad. It's not bad either, so it's fine. Let's look a little bit closer to the blade itself. So you can see there the number on it. This is what I was telling you about. I don't know if you can tell quite on the inside, but it has some brown bits. I don't know if it's rust. I don't know if it's just, I don't know, some residue from when it was made, but you know, it doesn't look quite well, right? So on the bottom you have the, and I haven't done much to it. I left it as it was, as I got it, basically. On the bottom you got the blade, on the top you got the blunt end. Then you got on the back, you can see the machining on it. And the machining is kind of rough, you can feel the edge. I think some of the other ones you cannot quite feel the edge. As far as the angle goes, similar to the ST-X, I believe, it's a little bit flatter on the angle. Then you can see the screw in there. So you can move the screw. Because I have the Dspiae, I'm gonna be able to use that, but if I didn't have that, I would not be able to use this, right? I would not be able to adjust that very easily. So, I don't know, this one seems fine to me. It doesn't seem, I don't know if it's gonna be worth the $30, but it seems fine. As far as nippers go, it seems fine. So let me go ahead and show you the plastic that I cut with it. So hard to grab these little beams. So there you go. I really don't know if it was worth the $30, but I mean, it cuts. It cuts. The fact that it cuts, it cuts. The hand feel, not that bad. The finish on it, not that bad. Scuffed, but not that bad. It's just okay. I wouldn't say it's worth $30, but it's alright. Okay, so that's the U-Star. Those are the Dspiae and U-Star, and now I'm going to move into this weird HobbyMio one. So this HobbyMio stainless steel single blade nipper, HM109. So you can see the HM109 from there. This one's also $30 to $35. I also got it from AliExpress. So depending on the deals that are going on at the time, you might be able to get something a little bit cheaper or a little bit towards the high end, right? Depending on when you get them. So these ones are just weird because they're very heavy. They're super heavy. Let me scroll back. So these are super heavy. Let me bring the box, show you the box first, and then I'll talk about the hand feel of them. These have a very neat box. It's just a neat little box. Has this, it's written in Chinese, I cannot read. So it is Chinese, right? No, this is Japanese. I don't know what language it is. I cannot read it, but is it a Japanese brand? I probably should have researched that, right? Has a neat box. You can just have it here. It's not that hard to save. Store in here. But if you're gonna be using them constantly, you probably don't want to have them in here. That's why I don't have it in there, because I do reach for it a bunch of times just as a fidget toy, basically. This one in particular. I'm just fidgeting with because it's so heavy. The hand feel of it is very weird because it doesn't have that shape that you expect from a nipper. And then it's stainless steel and it's just heavy. But it's really nice. Like, look at all the steel that it has. Look at all that steel. Like, you don't... This is a really weird nipper. So that's the hand feel is good. I mean, it feels good. Weird, but good. Let me scroll in. And let me show you these details. Like, look at them. They're just nice little details. I don't know what this thing's about, but whatever. It's there. It's nice. Now let's look at the nipper head. It's weird. Blunt at the top, blade at the bottom. All kinds of weird. I don't know how to judge this one. I guess it's closer. My guess is that it's a lot closer to the GodHands in the way that the shape is. Can I get them both? To the entry grade. It's a lot closer to the entry grade. And that's what I plan to use it on. To use it as a replacement to the entry grades, eventually. Once those run out of edge. So let me show you the cuts that I made with that. Let me clean this. Do I have my cloth here? Okay. So the cuts made with that HM109, they're not that bad. It is a single blade nipper, so they are not that bad. Look at that. Pretty good. Stainless steel. I don't know what that's gonna affect, you know. Very good. I like it. I really like the form of it, so the form factor of it. I like that. And then they're just nice, they're interesting. So it's something to have, something weird to have, right? Okay, so I looked it up. HobbyMio, I do believe is Japanese. No, sorry, Chinese, and they export to Japan. So that's why I see it in Japanese videos. I think so. I don't think they're Japanese, sorry. I think they're Chinese. Okay, so now we're gonna look at these HobbyMio nippers, which are probably the more popular ones. So these are the HobbyMio Ultra Thin Blade Nipper Evolution HM108, and they also cost around $30. So pretty much up until now, we have the STX, STA 3.0, HobbyMio HM109, and then the HobbyMio HM108. They all cost around $30. This U-Star also costs around $30. So all of this is the same price range, okay? So let's look at these ones, right? I already mentioned their name, their price, and let me show you the box. Let me scroll out. There we go. So the box on this one's, it's a lot nicer. Has this legend. This is why I believe it's Chinese, because that's a Chinese dress. That's not Japanese. But anyways. So the box is nice. It's very neat, like the HM109. Very neat. You can still use it to store your nippers here, but it's very inconvenient. So I don't use it for that. It's just inconvenient. It has its own cover too, so you don't need to worry about that. So you can see, let me put this away. You can see, however, that it comes with oil. This is very useful. This is very useful because just by having this little bit of oil, I don't need to get oil for any of my other nippers. So that's gonna be a plus, right? So I got that oil. It also comes with its own neat little cover, which is, it's really nice. I like it. I don't know about materials, otherwise I would tell you what materials these are, but it's like cotton on the inside. So I think this is just synthetic leather. Yeah, that cover is really nice. So now let me show you the nipper itself. It's got this red and white color thing. I don't know how to call it. The hand feel on it is nice. It feels nice to handle. Feels a lot closer to a GodHand than the Dspiae did. The plastic itself feels a lot better. And then when the smoothness of it, it's very smooth. It's not springy at all. It's just smooth, right? Yeah, this is really nice feeling nipper. I do enjoy it. I can see why it's one of the more popular ones. Let me show you the spring on the Dspiae ST-C 3.0. Like look at just the strength that spring has. Well, this one's just smoother. And then the ST-C 3.0, it just springs out. So yeah, when it comes to hand feel, this one's just smooth. Okay, let me scroll in. So we're scrolled in. Also, it's purple. It's like a purple kind of tint, the screw. Nice little logo here. I like that. And then the blade itself. Blade at the bottom. Very noticeable blade. Blunt at the top. On the back. The finish, the machining, it feels a little bit smoother than the U-Star. You can still tell that there is some edge to it, but it's not as edgy as the U-Star was. Like the U-Star had so much edge to it. The machining was not good at all. So this one's fine. Let's go ahead and show the little plastic bits if I can get a hold of them. There we go. Clean them out. There you go. They look nice. It cuts. It's really hard to see on the white. I don't know why I don't even know why I'm showing you the white piece because it's really hard to tell. So, I mean, it cuts. Even though it has a lot of white on it, it's a bit smoother. Even with the white, it's a bit smoother than the U-Star and not than the 109. Weirdly enough, it's not that much smoother than the 109. Okay, scroll out. Okay, moving on. Let's just quickly look at the last Chinese one that I have, which is a generic one. Let's quickly look at it. This is just generic that I got from some pack. The hand feel of it, it's what you would expect. It's actually very similar to this one, because they use a very similar mechanism for spring back. You can see pretty much the same thing, right? So the spring back is very similar. However, this one being a lot smoother than that. So this is just a generic one, double bladed, very generic. Scroll in. I use this to cut all kinds of plastic, even plastic that you shouldn't be cutting. But they're alright. They're doing their job, you know? Show you the plastic real quick. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. The biggest thing about this ones, I'll show you here in a bit, how they sound when you cut. Because that's the big thing about this. Look at that. It bites. It bites and it bites. And it doesn't cut smooth. It just goes. It cracks the plastic. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get started with the right side, which is all the Japanese nippers. I've already made some reference to the GodHand, and because it's the most expensive one, and to these other GodHand too. These GodHands probably have some of the best hand feel that you're gonna get. But before that, let's look at the Tamiya. The Tamiya is also a very popular brand, and it has its own nippers. Another brand of nippers that I was trying to get was the Mr. Hobby GSI Krios. They have a set of nippers, but they're not that popular. They don't have very good reviews, so I thought better of it. So the only double-bladed nipper I have here that is in this form, in this style, is gonna be these Tamiya ones. So they are the Tamiya Sharp Pointed Side Cutter number 123. So 74123 is a complete number of it. And their price on these is weird because when I bought them, they cost more than I should have paid for them. So, but you can find them anywhere from $28 is the cheapest that I found on Amazon, to $49 in the official Tamiya USA site. So try to get them, if you're gonna get them cheap, because yeah, they're very expensive for I don't know what reason. So the box on them is very simple. It's just the packaging. I don't know what it is with Japanese package stuff, Japanese products that are just packaged in this plastic thing. Very simple. They don't spend a lot of thought into their packaging, so that's what it is. For the hand feel on it, it feels weighty, robust. It's a lot, if you compare it to any of the other nippers, it's a lot bulkier than they are. So there's a lot of metal in there. I don't know what the purpose of them are. I know it's for plastic, and they feel nice, they look nice, it's just nice. But they're double-edged, so I don't know the exact uses on it, right? So let's take a closer look at them. Let me scroll in. Take a closer look at them. They're nice. They look nice. I do like the finish on them. They look very neat. You can see that there's edge on there, and there should be edge. Yeah, you can see the edge on there too. Oh, damn! I almost poked myself with that. Tamiya craft tools. The finish on it, the machining on it is really good. It's not sharp at all on the edge. It is really nice and smooth, and you can tell that it's nicely machined. So, I mean, I like them. I don't know what the purpose of them is, and they're too expensive, but I like them. Then when it comes to the cut that they do, yeah, it's not very good, man. Yeah. But hey, there might be more use to them than I know. So, I don't know. Maybe someone can tell me what their use is. Okay, and then the last double edge that I have here is gonna be the GodHand entry nippers. I've been using these a lot on the previous, well no, I've actually only been using them on one video so far. So that one, the box is the same thing. It's a package. It's just a package. Made in Japan. What do you expect? Well, you get a little package like this. Doesn't have anything on the inside. Sometimes these packages will have instructions on the inside, but in this case, it's just a package. Nothing special to it. So we take a close look at them. Hand feel of these entry grade nippers is really good. The plastic just feels smooth, and they are just really smooth. I really like these ones. I'm gonna keep using them. Parts entry grade, I'm gonna keep using them until I can no longer, and then I'm gonna switch them to the HobbyMio 109s. They're just nice. The plastic, these bite. These they snap at the plastic. It is not nice what they do. It is not nice what they do to the plastic. Because they snap at it. Okay, so that's the GodHand entry grade. Oh yeah, and the cost that they have is usually, I forgot to mention, but it's probably the most looked for ones. GodHand nipper PN125, blah blah blah. The list price being about $14, but they usually go on sale for $12 to $13. So yeah. Did I mention the Tamiya, the price on the Tamiya? I believe I did. So now the two most interesting nippers that I have are the GodHand, which are just supposed to be the best nippers that you could get, and then the Plamo Kojo Miku Racing Project nippers, right? So those are the most interesting that I have, but let's look first at the GodHands. I don't want to leave the GodHands for last and then the Plamo. The Plamo are just more interesting. So immediately, let me show you the packaging. Let me talk about them and then show you the packaging actually. So the GodHand Ultimate Nipper 5.0, SPN 120 or JH SPN 120. Their list price is $60, but they usually go on sale for $55. $5, you know. 55, or I've seen them as low as 50, but I wouldn't hold out hopes for that. They're usually a bit more expensive. So yeah, $60 nippers, basically $60 nippers on the GodHands, right? Okay, so and their packaging, to no one's surprise, is just that. Sorry, I need to scroll back. Their packaging, to no one's surprise, it's just this. It's Japanese packaging. You could not expect any more than that. But, you know, it is what it is. So, looking at their hand feel, they are smooth but springy. So, this is the thing that differentiates them, right? The Dspiae ST-C 3.0, it's super springy. Super springy. Much more springier than the GodHand. And the HobbyMio is smooth, but not as springy either. It is smooth, but it's not as springy. So it doesn't have that correct balance that the GodHand do. So the HobbyMio needs to be springier to match the GodHand, while the Dspiae needs to be smoother to match the GodHand. So it's a weird medium, right? The plastic, it feels good. The plastic on the GodHands is just always been good. HobbyMio's a little bit rougher, but it feels roughly. It's rougher, but it feels roughly the same. Yeah. The Dspiae is much rougher. This one, the GodHand, is smooth. It just feels like a decent bit of plastic. So, yeah. Okay, let's scroll in to look at them in closer detail. Immediately from the onset, you can see that it's just shinier. And that's supposed to be the premium part about these nippers, right? That they do a lot more polishing of them. Or I forgot what they said that they do, but in Japan, they go through a lot more processing for them, right? So there you go. That's the front. At the bottom, we can see the blade. It's very... on the other ones, I was struggling to get the shine to come through for the blade, because you can see a slight shine for the blade. But this one's, it's immediate. The blunt end. I haven't been showing the sharpness of the cut. So they're similar to the HobbyMio. Very similar to the HobbyMio and very similar to the ST-C 3.0. The ST-C 3.0 is a little bit, I keep saying sharp, but they're very similar. Very, very similar. So from the back, they just look nice. These GodHands, they just look nice. So there you go. It's a very nice piece of nippers, like equipment, hobby tool equipment. It's really, really nice. I am not entirely sure if they're worth $60, because definitely I can see someone deciding to go for the Dspiae because they are springier, right? If you have a heavy hand or have issue with what's it called? Not pushing, but like holding it too tight, you know, like, or constantly snapping it. I don't know what the word is, but basically, if you're closing it too hard all the time, I can see how you would have issues maintaining the edge on something like the GodHand or even the HobbyMio. So the Dspiae is very springy. Might be better if you have a heavier hand, or if you grip too tight. So it might be better for that. The HobbyMio, it feels way too smooth compared to this one. So if you're gonna be delicate, if you have a delicate hand, you can go with the HobbyMio. That's fine. So yeah, that's GodHand supposed to be the best. We'll see. I'm gonna be doing some testing later. But let's see the... I don't think I showed the plastics themselves. Here's the thing with this. They do look smooth, but not much smoother than the ST-A 3.0s. They look smooth, but not much smoother. Oh, hold on. Oh. It's getting away. Smooth, but not much smoother than the Dspiae 3.0. So if I were to choose between the two of them, I would say you're probably fine with the Dspiae. Okay, and last but not least is the Plamo Kojo. A Plamo Kojo nipper. And it's a very weird nipper. Let me get the full name for it before I begin talking about it. So this is the Plamo Kojo PMKG RM03 Sustainer Nipper Advanced Bear Racing Miku. No, hold on, I said that wrong. Sustainer Nipper Advanced Bear Racing Sustainer Nipper Advanced Bear Racing Miku 2023 Hobby Tool. So this is a very weird nipper. Let me show you the box real quick. So this is what it comes in. It's the it's a Plamo Kojo nipper. There's another version of it, but this one is the Miku version. So it's just a very simple box, and it tells you that it has tools on it to remove something, and it also has a cover, and then it also has blades that you can buy separately. So that's what this is. It is a nipper. Let me take off the cover. That has a removable nipper blade. So you can actually just replace the blade, which is a very novel concept because, yeah, that's the thing that you wanna replace when it goes dull, right? So instead of replacing the entire thing, you just replace the blade. That's it. The blunt can stay. The blunt part can stay. It also has this little thing. You can see it here. That's so your pinky finger can catch on it. But it's just, it makes things harder because you cannot be flipping it, right? Depending on how you're doing the cut, you want to be flipping this thing. Because you always want to have this end towards the plastic that you're cutting, so you don't bite into it. So well, at least I know that I'm constantly flipping them like this. So having this little thing at the end, not very useful. So I don't know if anyone else is gonna find it useful. The cover is hard plastic. It's fine. It fits. It's fine. I like them like this, and obviously it has the Miku coloring scheme, right? Which is just this little. What color is it? Bluish, cyan? I don't know. I don't know about colors. So yeah, that's it. That's all it has. Just that marking, the color. The original nipper for this Plamo Kojo has yellow on the inside. It's not Miku colored. So has the mark for the project itself and a 4 there. I believe that's Miku's number. It has to be, right? It also comes with, let me show you, tools. Comes with these tools. Let me put them in. So these are the tools that are required for you to either, I believe, adjusting this screw here, this one here, and taking off the nipper blade. So you have to take off the nipper blade when you want to replace them. Now, to replace the nipper blade, you're going to need to buy nipper blades. They're separate. So There are these ones. It's a nice little package. Comes with the blades themselves and the screws that you need. So blade and screw. Okay, so now to talk about price. The reason that I've left the price out until now is because these are a very I bought them directly from Amazon Japan, which means that you pay a lot for shipping. It's the same amount. Well, no, it's not the same. It's a very high amount. So for this, the list price for this is 5,500 yen, Japanese yen. On sale, they go for 4,359 yen, which comes out to about $30, right? So on sale, when I bought them, it was for $30. I believe it's like $40 if it's not on sale, something like that. And then the shipping was 2,600 yen. So that's another $20 of shipping, plus 1,000 yen for the extra blades. And then the shipping for the blades and for the nipper itself are gonna be the same. So ideally, you buy them at the same time so you can save on the shipping for one of them, right? Because if you buy them separate, you're gonna have to pay shipping twice. If you buy them together, I believe it's just a little bit higher on the shipping, but it's not that much. So yeah, you're gonna have to think about whether you wanna get them, but they're certainly the most interesting pair of nippers that I have. So, well, let's look at, we already took a very cursory look at it. So let me go ahead and scroll in. So we're scrolling in. We're gonna look at it. It has some scuffs in there, but I don't think it matters. It's made in China. So I always say, well, these ones are the Japanese ones and the other ones are the Chinese ones. Yeah, but they're all made in China. And the only difference for the GodHand is that they are processed, in the end, they are processed in Japan, right? For the polishing and the last little bit of work that they do on them. That last little bit of work happens in Japan. That's the difference, right? So for this ones, you can see the blade. Oh yeah, the blade is not as pointy as the others. It's much more boxy, I suppose you could say that. But the blade itself works. And there it is. And this is how you would take it apart, right? Through here. So yeah, and it has the little racing thing, racing project. Yeah, they're nice nippers. Let's look at the cut that they do. I do like them. Just because of their weird factor, I like them. The cuts they do. Let's look at them. It's not bad. It leaves a lot of white, sure. But hey, it cuts. And if the replacement blade costs you, if you're gonna be constantly buying stuff from Amazon Japan, I know that I buy stuff from Amazon Japan like once or twice every 6 months, every half a year. So if I have to buy stuff from there every now and then, I can just toss in the blades in any other order that I do, and they'll come out a lot cheaper than just buying a new pair of GodHands. It's a lot cheaper than buying a new pair of GodHands, or even just a new HobbyMio or a Dspiae, right? So those are the cuts that it has. And yeah, that's all the nippers that I had to showcase for today. Now, one last test that I want to do, and I'm gonna switch completely to the bottom camera now. So let me pull it back a little. One last test that I want to do is I have some parts with me here that I left a ton of run and run, and I'm just gonna do one cut and see how it performs with just one cut. So let's go ahead and get started with the with the cheapest, I suppose. Now let's go ahead and get started with the double blade nippers. So the cheap Chinese plastic model thing. Scroll in. You can hardly tell. Maybe this is not a good piece to be testing with. I mean, it does have a lot of bite to it. Probably this is not a good piece to be testing with, but whatever. Now the GodHand, the GodHand entry grade. I've already done a whole high grade with this, so this looks about right. That it just leaves a whole bunch to be desired. And then the Tamiya. These Tamiya, I hate these Tamiya because they're so heavy. They're so heavy you have to hold them a little bit weird. And then you have to open them yourself because the spring just doesn't spring back at all. The spring doesn't spring back at all. Like, this is how far it springs back. So you have to go and open them. Look at the spring. This is so bad. I don't like this Tamiya at all. I paid too much for them and I am just annoyed by them. So the holding of it is so weird. I don't like them. I just don't like them. They are bad. Not good. Not good at all. So that's one piece of red. Let me pull out another piece of red and start with the single blade nippers. So that was all the dual blade nippers. Let me bring out, scroll back. So this is the piece that I'm gonna be working on. It's the feet on the Gundam. This one's already kinda out, so I'm not gonna use this one at the bottom. Let me grab the Dspiae ST-C. So this is the one that comes in the travel case. The reason that I want to test this one in particular is because if you're gonna get a travel case to begin with, right, so you can begin the hobby with, it's a really good case to get. And it comes with everything, so let me scroll in. You can see the piece that I'm gonna be cutting. Does leave quite a bit to be desired, huh? Might also be that I'm not using it correctly, but what else do you do with this? You just cut. Let me cut this thing over here. Yeah, that one's already bad. So yeah. Still leave a lot of bite. All right, let me go ahead and do this last cut here with the STX. Do that cut. It's a little bit better. Much less noticeable. It is much less noticeable. You can see it there, but from a distance, as you start to get away, it's much less noticeable. So the STX do fine. Oh, okay, now I'm using the STA 3.0. Okay, these ones are quite smooth. You can tell there's a little bit of white in there, but as far as smoothness goes, super smooth. As you get away, it's not gonna be very noticeable. This one have a lot of springy noise. The spring is green for some reason. I don't know what that's about, but it has a lot of springy noise. And the way that they open, look at how open they are. That's just how they are. They take a lot of space. Let me grab the U-Stars. The U-Star $30 nipper, that's very odd. So, oh, hold on. I'm struggling to hold it so I can show it. Okay, that's good enough. Let me cut this one over here that's already kind of fallen off. So this is the one that I cut with the U-Star. Not the smoothest cut, but it does. It serves a purpose, you know? It goes. It just serves a purpose. So it's fine. This U-Star is fine. Not my favorite as far as feel goes, and it's fine, right? The biggest thing about this is that they're all kind of $30, you know? The premium nippers are all gonna be kind of on the same price range. So if they perform similar, then you should really just go for the one that looks the best. So I've tested all this row, all these ones. Let's go into the HobbyMios. So let's start with the 108 and then I'll go into the 109. These two are good. So this is the HobbyMio 108. I would say that this is the most comparable to GodHand. Oh, aside of me not getting the correct angle. Okay, now it's smooth. It looks fine. Like it a little bit better than the STA 3.0. Let me take this one off that's already fallen. Okay, that one was a much better angle. It was already falling, but much better angle. Look at that. So these ones are, I like them a little bit more than the Dspiae 3.0, STA 3.0, but not that much. And I actually like the springiness of this one. When it comes to actually cutting, I like the springiness of them. So now let me test the 109. So the HobbyMio 109, the weird stainless steel ones. It's so weird how this super big, super weird. Super weird, super big ones are not bad. It's a little bit of lip left to it, but it's not very noticeable, isn't it? You can kind of tell, but from a distance, it just disappears. So these are fine. I like them. I do like them. If you want to use them for whatever you want to use them, they'll be fine. And they're weird. Just look at them. They're so weird. So okay. Let me go into our last two, which will be, oh, this piece is already falling off. Okay, well, it fell off. Which will be the Plamo and then the GodHand. So I'll do the Plamo first. You can see it's well attached. The Plamo do not feel that great. And they left a lot of white residue. They are not the best. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they're not the best. But hey, reusable. I paid too much for them, man. Okay, and lastly, the GodHand. Okay, those were much smoother. Yeah, that was much smoother. I cannot fix the Plamo. I cannot fix this mistake. Before I even try. Look at what the Plamo did versus what the GodHand did. There is a difference. There's definitely a difference, right? However, let me do a couple more tests with the Plamo and the GodHand. So I'll do this entire piece with the GodHand. Yeah, that piece was kind of messy from the beginning. So this is with the GodHand. There's still gonna be some residue left. You just want to get it as close as possible to the plastic. But it's never gonna be perfect. To get it perfect, you're gonna have to do some sanding. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people do like it. It's not a very contentious topic or anything, but it's just something that you either really like or really dislike. Those that like it find it very zen. I find it stressful because I always want to do the best job possible when sanding because I feel like I'm taking away the material. So you want to do as good as possible. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm just making disasters with this. Dude. Okay, okay, these Plamo Kojo ones are not good at all. I mean, they're gonna be good. For one specific reason, they're going to be good. I'll tell you here in a second. But look at that. No, this is not. You can hardly tell that this exists. You can hardly tell that the GodHand exists. Look at the Plamo. Yes, there's a difference in the parts themselves. God damn, man. Either way, I don't even think it matters. Let me try the GodHand against something else. Let's try the GodHand against the STA 3.0. I'm going to discard some of them. I'm not going to be doing more testing with them because, for example, the STX, Dspiae STX, it's not even available right now that I know of. The most readily available is going to be the STA 3.0. So I'm going to test this one. Then the next one that I know is most known is going to be the HobbyMio HM108. So those are the two that I believe you would be most likely to get, right? I don't think anyone's going to go out and be like, oh my god, I want to get the U-Stars. Though they're nice, but I don't know how nice. Oh, I actually like these ones. God damn, I actually like the Dspiae ones a lot better than the HobbyMio. The fact that they're springier actually makes it better. It's easier to control these ones than the others. So here's how it ended. I don't mind that cut at all. Where else did I cut? I cut there. I don't mind it. Yeah, it could be better, but I don't mind it. This one over here, it was already falling off, so. Alright, that's as good as it goes. Let me do some HobbyMio on gray. Oh, please. Oh, I bit into the plastic hard. Yeah, that's no good. I'm gonna need to fill that in, but okay. Gonna need to fill that in. So this one, I just bit into the plastic hard. You can see. That's my fault mostly. Do I have any other parts that I can test with? Let me see. Yeah. Okay, so definitely, probably don't get the Plamo Kojos. It's not worth it. I like them. I'm probably gonna be using them for another reason, but probably don't get them. Okay, so last test with the GodHands. The GodHands are just much smoother. They just feel better. Okay, that's 2 cuts with the GodHand. Let me do some cuts with the HobbyMio HM8. I mean, the HobbyMios are fine. That's with the HobbyMio. This last one is with the HobbyMio. This one here is with the GodHand. This one over here is also with the GodHand. Let me do one more with the HobbyMio. I'll do the backside. Both backsides are gonna be HobbyMio. That's another cut with the HobbyMio. And then the last one with the ST-A 3.0. Look here, can you hear that? The spring on it, man. Look at the spring. Green on the front, purple on the back. What's that about? I actually like the Dspiae a lot more than the GodHand, as far as maneuverability goes. Okay. This is Dspiae. Looks fine. Looks fine. At the back is HobbyMio. So, yeah. Let me do Dspiae against Dspiae. Sorry, Dspiae against GodHand. So on the right side is Dspiae. This is Dspiae. And this is GodHand. Dspiae. GodHand. You can say user error, user skill, yes. But the fact that I'm able to get cuts that are so similar to each other with a nipper that is $30 cheaper, this is what the test is about, right? As far as me going and cutting things, I don't feel, although the GodHand on your hand feels so good, it genuinely feels really good when you're just handling it. I feel like the ST-A 3.0 is just, it's just a lot better when you're cutting. It doesn't matter how it feels when you're just handling it. It matters how it feels when you're cutting. And because it's so much springier, it pushes you back so much. That's a lot easier for me. As compared to something so smooth as this, like it has no pushback. It's harder. It's harder for me. The GodHand, it's fine. The GodHand is fine. It has the right amount of springiness to where you're able to handle it, but it's not the most comfortable. This one, I really like it. I just like it. I thought I got decent results when I was cutting with it. Do I have anything else I can cut? No. I really like it. I just really like this one. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be using this one whenever I wanna use something interesting, you know? I just like it. The hand feel is fine. The springiness is fine. It's just so nice. I don't know what it is about this one. I just like the plamo. The plamo is you probably don't get this one. Probably don't. However, oh yeah, the U-Star, just don't get this one. There's no point in getting this one when you can get either a Dspiae or a HobbyMio, so don't. The Dspiae ST-X, this one's fine. This one's a really good, actually. This one's really good, but I cannot recommend it because it's just not available. At the time when I'm recording this, I could not find anywhere to buy it for cheap, for the $30, right? This one is fine. The ST-C is fine. If you want to get a kit for just starting, you can get the, what did I say? Is the TC, have the, oh, where is it? If you want to get something just to start, you can get a travel case or travel pack. I don't remember how it's called. And it'll have everything that you need to get started on the hobby for $40. And this one's fine. So yeah. What else? Do not get the Tamiyas. They are awful. There's no spring back. You have to open them yourself. It's so trash. I do not like this ones at all. Don't get this. Don't get this. Do get the entry grade GodHands. They're just nice. They feel so nice on your hand. So good. GodHands, I cannot say I recommend them because they're so expensive. Just get either a HobbyMio or a Dspiae ST-C 3.0. I cannot recommend the GodHands because of how expensive they are. So yeah. I suppose I should have done it in order, right? Which ones do I recommend the most? HobbyMio, and Dspiae ST-C 3.0 are the best. That's it. If you want to spend the money on it, yes, get the GodHands, for sure. They're not necessary. These ones are gonna be just as good. These ones are gonna be just as good. And the reason for that is because after you do the cut, you have to sand. So whatever effort you put into cutting with the nippers, you're gonna hide it with the sanding. So that's to say that this is probably pointless. And yep, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.